Okay, back to the pump. Like I said, this check valve is threaded on the bottom of this Johnson. This is a Johnson 500 gallon per hour pump. You can get them everywhere. It's the type that has the replaceable cartridge. But this was the, I think they call it the straight down version. I can't remember how they worded it, but anyway, I just cut off the majority of the threaded section and threaded it right into that 3/4 inch scupper, or check valve. And the way I have it fastened is with you can see one there, wire ties, that the kind that have the hole in them for a screw or bolt or whatever, and those are pop riveted on. I've got two up here on the bottom of the motor, and you can see this here. This is some more of the that floor matting, that rubber matting that I had, that I used in the rod pod on the Kayak. Whenever I first did a test on this pump, I turned it on, and it was leaning up against the tank here, and it caused a really bad vibration. And I thought, well, that won't be any good, because you know, a lot of the bait that you use, sometimes it's pretty fragile, and you know, I just wanted to keep the bait fish as calm as possible in there, keep them alive longer, and not stress them out so bad. My wiring on it, you can see here, this is just still loose wires. It's not wrapped or anything yet, and the reason that is I still have to put an inline fuse on the hot side here. I got to put a 5 amp inline fuse on that, so I got to snip a section out and put that in there. Now what I did as far as powering it, getting power back here, I thought this was a pretty good idea. It worked out pretty well. I don't know if you guys will recognize that. You can see what I did to it. That's just one end of a wiring kit for a trailer. You know, and it had the other, I think, like 2 more of these female pieces in addition to this one that were attached to it, and I cut through that with my Dremel, because I only needed 1 female, 1 male. I had that stuff laying around. And the other end, coming out of the Kayak, did the same thing. Cut part of it off and just utilized the 2 that I needed, just for 1 positive, 1 negative. And this is just a wiring cover, a marine wiring cover. I drilled about a 3/4 inch hole in there to run the wire through and everything. And then when I got it to where I wanted it lengthwise, then I tied just a loose knot in it to rest up against the hole that I drilled in the Kayak. That way it couldn't pull through. And then I gooped the crap out of it, and then I gooped it some more, so it sealed it really good. So that's the power. I get the power to it. And, I don't have a battery in the Kayak right now, but here's the switch for the pump itself. And you can see that switch might look a little funny to you, and the reason that is that was a Shoreline standard switch. It used to stick out there a lot longer. It was kind of sharp on the end, so I cut most of it off, took the Dremel tool and rounded it up so it doesn't, it's real low profile, it doesn't snag on anything. I can just reach down there behind my leg and hit it with my hand, turn it on or off. And over here is another switch. That's for a light that I mounted in the rod pod. You see that light right there? That way at night, you know, if I need to get in the belly of the beast, I can have some light to do it. So anyway, that's the switch for the tank. And then, like, it's the prime bulb, standard prime bulb for an outboard motor. Like I said, the end here, I was able to use the one that came with the factory bulb. Got the right size hose, I believe it was 3/8. This is just a fitting I got at Lowe's with 3/8 barb on it, 90 degrees. It's a 3/4 inch. Let me see what I think it's. Okay, it's 1/2 inch. around here. No, it is 3/4. It's 3/4 inch threaded. It comes through the side of the bait tank into this 3/4 inch threaded reducer. So we reduce down to a 1/2 inch CPVC, turn a 90 into another 1/2 inch piece of PVC, and it's got a cap on the back there that's glued on. And you can't see them, but about every inch there's a 1/4 inch hole drilled in the bottom of this. So whenever you put the juice to it and you got it primed and the water's flowing, that motor, it being a 500, I was worried about it putting out too much water too fast, but I guess I just got lucky the way that I configured the plumbing and how I reduced it and the amount of holes that I drilled in it, and I can't remember how many were there. There's probably 10 or so underneath there. It gives it just a nice flow straight down this wall here, and it fills it up. And then over here to the other side, this is my drainage system, and I gotta say I'm pretty proud of this. I really put a lot of thought into this because I didn't want goes out of the way. I didn't want a lot of clutter in the tank itself. As far as I knew, I wanted adjustable water height. I knew I wanted two settings for the water height, but I didn't want a lot of bending elbows and pipes and stuff that you had to move and twist and take out and push up or down or whatever. I didn't want a lot of stuff cluttering up the inside of this. That's one of the reasons over here on the inflow side, you'll see that bend right there and that piece of CPVC. I just heated it up with my heat gun and got that right bend, so it lays up real nice along this wall. And I wanted the flow obviously to go completely across the tank to maximize the amount of oxygenated water that the fish are getting. So it drops down here and then it drains out over here. And that lower one that is open right there, that'll put about 5 inches of water in the tank, and it just simply fills up that level and drains out. And in order to change water levels, it's this simple. Reach in here, grab this cap, pull that cap off, push it over that one. That's it. And these are spare caps in case I lose one. There's one, two. So there's 2 spare caps in there, and those are just 3/4 inch CPVC end caps, and the friction that they have sliding over that pipe is perfect. It fits snug and it seals it up, so you can just switch back or forth between whichever height you want in the tank. So I plugged that bottom one off. Now it'll fill up to, that's probably 10 or 11 inches of water in there, up to this one here, and it'll drain out that one. So the drain side is all 3/4 inch CPVC, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's all gooped, so everything's sealed. All my rod holders, those are put on with stainless steel bolts, nuts and washers, and gooped real well. So on the drain side, on the outside, and this is it. The trick to getting this really close to the tank, and you can see it's really close, so you can hit that scupper hole. And of course, different kayaks, you're going to have more room or less room. You may have to do it differently. But the trick is, these are what they call street elbows. This one elbow here, this is a female, standard 3/4 inch female side, and the other side is basically like a piece of 3/4 inch pipe. Instead of having female that 3/4 inch pipe goes into, you basically got a female and then a male piece of 3/4 sticking out, that runs into the 90s on the other side. And so you can see they fit up really nice. I just figured out